We have achieved a 60% reduction in unsheltered homelessness just since we launched this plan. So think about the system: prevention, outreach and engagement, connection to shelter, services, and on to permanent housing.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. We launched a systems-oriented plan to address the complex issue of homelessness nearly 3 years ago. We are super excited about the progress that we have made. Looking at 2019, before we launched our homeless strategic plan, we had 164 people living on the streets of Corona that were without services and shelter and ultimately housing. Now, when we look at the 2023 count of the homeless, which is something that happens every year, counties across the United States conduct a homeless count. So what happened in January of 2023? We found that our unsheltered homeless count is now down to 65. We have achieved a 60% reduction in unsheltered homelessness. 3 years, and to be able to accomplish that great of a reduction is remarkable. Why were we able to do it? Because this city has taken a strategic, systems-oriented approach to address homelessness. Many cities, they'll start with something like an outreach program or maybe a shelter program, but they're not looking at a whole systems-oriented approach. So if you think about the plan, the first piece is homeless prevention, making sure that those that are at risk of falling into homelessness have resources and assistance. Then we have outreach teams with our homeless outreach and psychological evaluation team officers, HOPE team officers, and our nonprofit CityNet that do outreach to engage our folks that are living on the streets, get them engaged with services, connected to shelter, and then the next step is getting people connected to housing. So think about the system: prevention, outreach and engagement, connection to shelter, services, and on to permanent housing. I hope that you will take a moment to celebrate with us in achieving this success of a 60% reduction in unsheltered homelessness. But then once we pause for a celebration, let's continue to move forward. We still have people living on the streets. We have work to do. And just so you know, we're getting ready to open a 40-bed shelter, which has an on-site clinic. It's pet friendly. It'll have all types of supportive services. That will be one more component in this whole system of services. We are convinced that if we keep moving forward on this path, we are going to achieve functional zero. That means we will have been able to place everybody that is on the streets in housing, in shelter, and if for some reason another person falls into homelessness, their episode will be brief, rare, and they will be connected to that system of services. Thank you so much for partnering with us. Please continue to stay at the table and work with us as we address this difficult issue in the city of Corona.